If you are thinking about flying to Israel and you are starting to plan your trip, you are in the right place. I'm going to talk about all the important things you need to consider. The two biggest problems tourists face in Israel, it is not what you think, how to plan your trip, the main sites, money, transportation, and a bunch of very practical tips that will make your time in Israel much better. Let's start with the problems. Many people worry about security, but you will be safe and you will feel safe. Most visitors will tell you that in Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, and Haifa, they felt safer than in big cities in the US and even in Europe. In the summer in Tel Aviv, go out on a weekday at 11 at night, everyone is outside and it feels completely safe. The two biggest problems are how expensive things are and understanding what you see. Israel is expensive for us, Israelis, and it is expensive for you too. A bit less because tourists don't pay VAT on hotels. But Israel is costly, and soon I will give you tips on how to save money. The second problem, and in my opinion it is a huge one that nobody really talks about, is that most sites in Israel are not visually impressive. I will give you the clearest example, the old city of Jerusalem. Nobody stands in front of the Western Wall and says, "Wow, this is the most beautiful wall I've ever seen." And nobody walks into the Church of the Holy Sepulchre and says, "Wow, that is a stunning church." The only true beautiful sight in the old city is the Dome of the Rock. To enjoy Israel, you need to know the story. If you don't know the story, you won't understand Israel. I will offer all the solutions for that very soon. Our currency is the shekel, abbreviated as ILS or NIS, Israeli shekel or New Israeli shekel. There are four banknotes, 20, 50, 100, and 200. They are colorful, nicely designed, and feature portraits of famous Israeli poets, two men and two women. We are so progressive. $1 or €1 is worth about 3.5 shekels. We use cash, credit cards, Visa and MasterCard, and you can also pay with Apple Pay and Google Pay. Debit cards are hardly used. If you plan to rent a car, you will need a credit card. The power sockets have 3 holes, and most plugs you will see have 2 pins. The voltage is 220 volts. The best time to visit Israel is in the spring, March, April. Summer is very hot. Expect 30 to 35 degrees Celsius every day. If you love the beach and visiting indoor places like churches or museums, it can work. But summer is too hot for long hikes. In October, the weather cools down, and during most autumn days, you can walk around in a t-shirt. Winter is from December to February. When it rains hard, but usually for like 2 or 3 days, and then the sky clears again. January also has sunny days. In my opinion, Israel is an excellent winter destination, especially if you want to travel in the desert. I will admit it, I barely make videos about the desert because there is less demand. People want Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, and the Galilee. But if I lived in a cold country, and most people visiting Israel do, I would come in winter for a warm desert vacation. Hopefully my channel will grow big enough that I can afford to make more desert content. One more thing you should consider before booking flights is the Hebrew calendar. In Israel, we use 2 calendars, the Gregorian calendar, the one you know, and the Hebrew calendar. How do we manage 2 calendars? We are very smart. Just kidding, you get used to it. This matters because most Jewish holidays are set by the Hebrew calendar. It is amazing to be here during holidays like Sukkot, Passover, or Hanukkah, but keep in mind there is no public transportation on those days, and flights and hotel prices are much higher. I previously wrote a long post explaining Israeli holidays, what they are, when they occur, and what to expect. Now, let's talk planning. Israel is small. It is about the size of New Jersey. Wisconsin is 9 times bigger than Israel. If you are from the UK, Israel is about the size of Wales. If you are from Germany, it's about the size of Hessen. If you are from somewhere else, just know this. You can drive from the north of Israel to the south in like 6 hours. And from east to west in less than an hour and a half. I like to summarize planning tours in Israel in 3 words: the heart, the line, and the land. The heart is Jerusalem. If you only have 24 hours in Israel, you must visit Jerusalem. The line is highway number 1, connecting Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, and the Dead Sea. If you have 3 to 4 days, you can see Jerusalem, Masada, the Dead Sea, and Tel Aviv. The land is everything else. If you are coming for a week or 2, you can go north to the Galilee or south to the desert. About 95% of tourists go north. The Galilee has many Jewish and Christian historical sites. It's greener and cooler in summer, which is when most tourists arrive. When planning your trip, try to be in Tel Aviv or Jerusalem over the weekend, Friday and Saturday, and in the desert or Galilee from Sunday to Thursday. You will enjoy the sights and nature when they are less crowded. Israel is very dense, 10 million people in a small country, and weekends always have more events in the cities. You will probably start your trip at Ben Gurion Airport. I made a full video about the airport, the link will be below, and it is packed with useful information. The most important thing to know is that the airport is in central Israel. If you land on Sunday or Monday, you can rent a car and drive straight to the Galilee or the desert. It's about 2 hours. If you land on Thursday or Friday, it is better to take a taxi or train to Jerusalem or Tel Aviv. I don't recommend keeping a car in Tel Aviv or Jerusalem. There is no parking in Tel Aviv, and in Jerusalem, people drive like crazy. Rent a car only when you are leaving the city. The public transportation in Israel is good and cheap, but there are no buses and trains from Friday afternoon until Saturday night, and not on Jewish holidays. If you add it all together, there are like 2 months without public transportation. So check availability on Google Maps or other transportation apps. Now, let's quickly go through the main sites. Of course, Jerusalem comes first. I won't list the must-see sites because you can find that everywhere. I will say Masada and the Dead Sea in the Judean desert are the second and third most important sites, and you can visit both in one day. Tel Aviv is probably number 4. Tel Aviv doesn't really have classic must-see sites, and that's not criticism, it's the opposite. You don't have to rush anything. Tel Aviv is the first modern Jewish city, and beyond markets and beaches, it has museums and fascinating sites. The northern coast includes Caesarea, Haifa, and Acre, Akko, which you can visit in 1 or 2 days. Jewish sites in the Galilee include Safed and many Zionist history sites like Tel Chai and Ganya, the first kibbutz. The main Christian sites are, of course, Nazareth and the churches around the Sea of Galilee. The Galilee and the Golan Heights also have many nature reserves, water sports, and battlefields. If you are visiting in winter and want some desert, you can stay in Mitzpe Ramon, right on the edge of the crater. It gets very cold at night, but during the day, hiking in the crater is pleasant. There are also kibbutzim and moshavim in the Arava Valley, where it is always warm and there are unique places like Neot Smadar and Ktorah. One fascinating thing about Israel, which I don't think I've talked about in any video, is that there are communities built around specific idea. For example, a kibbutz of Reform Jews from the United States, or groups formed around a particular leader, like Neot Smadar. Eilat is Israel's southernmost city, with the Red Sea and the Eilat Mountains. Here too, try to visit not on weekends or holidays. Israel is what's called an end destination. You can't really continue to Syria and Iraq. The Middle East isn't Europe, but you can continue to Sinai in Egypt, which is much cheaper than Eilat, and to Jordan. If you have 10 days or more, I would seriously consider spending 2 or 3 days in Jordan to see Petra. And I want to go back to what I said at the beginning. Guiding. You are visiting Jerusalem, the most interesting, complex, and important city in Western history. Without some kinds of guidance, you will understand very little and walk past hugely important sites without noticing. Just watch a few of my basic videos on Jerusalem sites. the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the Western Wall, the Temple Mount, the Via Dolorosa, and see how much new information you pick up. Now imagine how much more you would get with a guide. The best option, of course, is to hire an agent who organizes everything: hotels, guides, attractions. In the coming weeks, I will make a video with my partner Sagi covering everything you need to consider before booking a trip to Israel. Just to give you a rough idea, a guide with a car and site entrance is about $1,000 per day, and hotels range from $300 to $700. I also made videos with my guide friends Avirama, Itai, and Vir, and all the info is on my website. I personally don't guide anymore. If a private guide is out of your budget, you can join a group tour. Just know that unlike Rome or Paris, in Jerusalem, guides will emphasize different things for different groups. A Jewish tour is very different from a Christian one. A Catholic tour is different from a Protestant tour. In some languages like German, Catholic and Protestant tours can be quite similar, but for Brazilian pilgrims, the difference can be huge. The same goes for the Galilee. The Jewish Galilee and the Christian Galilee are two very different experiences in the same place. Many people join tours organized by their local church. That can be an incredible experience, possibly the most meaningful trip of your life. But if you travel with a religious group you don't really connect with, it can be disappointing. If you don't like group tours, you can do day tours, like those offered by Abraham Tours. And you can also use my digital tours. In my digital tours, I filmed everything I say as a guide into videos on your phone. You see where you are on the map, how to get to the next point, and at every stop there is an explanation video. Right now I have 5 tours and I'm working on more. I have 2 products. One is the Jerusalem Crash Course for people who want to learn about Israel from home. The digital tours are for people who are actually coming, and beyond explanations I give practical tips: where to eat, where to shop fairly, and where to be a bit more careful. I also added discount codes for places I like: Abraham Hostels and Tours, Post Hostel, the Spot Hostel. If you use the codes, you will save more than the cost of the digital tours themselves. But most importantly, take guidance. Even a one-day tip-based tour makes a huge difference. 2 money-saving tips because Israel is expensive. First, accommodation. If you want to save, consider hostels. Many hostels in Israel have private rooms, breakfast, and kitchen. In places like Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, where you are out all day anyway, it makes sense to save on accommodation and spend more on special stay in the Negev or Galilee. All my accommodation recommendations are on my website. Second, food. Israeli food is amazing, but restaurants and alcohol are expensive. A beer can easily cost 10 euros or dollars. Always ask to see a menu. My tip for people who want to save money: eat less in restaurants and more street food. Falafel, shawarma, sabich, burekas, it's fantastic, and there are endless great places. If you made it this far, you are probably serious about planning a trip to Israel, or you just enjoy listening to me talking. Either way, check out my website. It is much easier to navigate everything there: planning, tours, accommodation, digital tours. And one topic tourists ask about more than anything else is Israeli society. As a tour guide, I learned that people are most interested in people. Almost nobody asks, what year was this church built? They ask about people, about the ultra-Orthodox, about the army, culture, politics. That's why I wrote posts introducing Israeli society, what you can learn from a supermarket, history through songs, and much more. So subscribe to the channel, check out the website, and I will see you in Israel. Yalla bye.